Hi and welcome back. In today's tutorial we're going to talk about publishing. So far we've only tested and played our game inside the editor, but I think it's time to let others try it too. And for that we need to publish it to the game store. Luckily there's a publish function built right into the editor. It's this little button right up here. When I click it, the project gets scanned and whoops, I've got an error. But that's expected. The error message tells us that we are using external resources in the project and we need to copy them into our project first. What does that mean? Well, up here we get a list of all the resources used in our game. If we scroll down, we see that some of them aren't actually inside our project folder. They are marked with external equals yes. And the path points elsewhere. These are assets we pulled from the store. The great thing about using store assets is that they load into our project quickly, since we don't have to copy them into our personal account first. That saves space and lets us test different assets quickly. But the downside is, if the original owner deletes an asset, our game breaks. Obviously we don't want that. So before publishing, we need to make sure all external resources are copied into our project folder. Once that's done, the project is self-contained and all the files are stored locally. So we're safe. Now I'm clicking Copy Resource to Project. This might take a few seconds or longer, depending on how many assets are being used. Once it's finished, we should get a confirmation that everything is good. And yep, this already looks much better. We see the list of all resources again. And when we scroll down, everything is now inside our project. Either in the Packages or Resources folder. I'll explain those in a second. But there's nothing marked as external anymore. The blue banner says Verified and we're ready to publish. Before I go ahead with that, I'll click Close and let's quickly take a look at the packages. I'm refreshing the view. Everything got copied over correctly. Now we have two folders in our project. One is Resources, which contains everything we created or uploaded ourselves. These are truly our own assets. The scene is in there, the composition with our custom scripts, though nothing in the audio folder right now. Then there's the Packages folder. That includes all the stuff we pulled from the store and copied into our project. Mostly meshes, but also the sounds. We got those from the asset store too. So let's go back to Publish. I could enter a title here, I'll just leave it for now. A short description is optional, as is a full description. You can also tag your project if you want. You can assign it to a category. Let's choose Casual. You can set a license. I leave that as None. You can also disable conversations if you don't want people leaving comments. If you like, you can also set a version number. Once I click Publish, the actual publishing process starts and the game is uploaded to the store. That usually only takes a few seconds. Nice, it worked! Now we see a folder called Published. When I open it, I see another folder with the version number of the game I just published. Inside that, there's my game. It's important to understand that this is the actual file that was published to the store. If I delete this file, it disappears from the store too. So I have full control over what's visible. I can right-click and change the visibility. For example, set it to private or invisible. The game stays in the store, but no one else can see it until I set it back to publish. Let's check if the game was published correctly. We go to the main page and click on Games. Then we scroll down and disable the stuff picks. Here's our game. Just click it, hit play, and it should work perfectly. Great, the game is now published. Everyone can play it. We also know how to remove it. We could also publish a new version. To do that, just click Publish again. The version number will automatically increment. If I publish now, a new version goes live and the old one, you can manage that here at the top, will be marked as private. If you don't do that, each version stays visible. That could leave you with several public versions of the same game, which can be confusing. So it's good to keep that option checked. In the next tutorial, we go back to the topic of fonts. I mentioned earlier that I'll show you how to upload and use custom fonts. See you in the next one. Stay tuned!